Hello, my name is Derek Bach, and this is my post about Linux. So the first question is, what really is Linux? Um, so I have Linux. It's an operating system for your computer, and basically what it does is it runs all the functions of your computer. Linux is it's an open source, and basically what that is it's free to users, and you can actually modify it. So there's users that input their own code and kind of rewrite the program to their needs. So that's open source. I think that's pretty cool. The next question is, what is open source? How does it differ from science? And do you use open source software nowadays? So I kind of went over earlier what open source was. It's free and it is open to modification from its users. They could input their own code in there to modify it. And the next part of the question is, how does it differ from science? I don't think it really differs. I think it's kind of the same. What it is science. Um, I think with science, you could contribute your own part to whatever hypothesis or experiment you're doing, and people actually, use other people's work and build on it, and that's pretty much what Linux is. Um, and then I currently, I don't use Linux. Doing research, Linux is in a lot of things in smartphones, tablets, so I use it for that. Um, so, Next question is, how does Linux affect your life? So, like I said earlier, I did a little research, and it looks like Linux is in a lot of things. It's used for servers, it's used for supercomputers, tablets, Android phones. So, I think it's affected all of our lives greatly because tons of devices run off of it. Next question is, do you do any type of programming? Do you think a career in programming would be good option for you? I personally don't do any type of programming. As far as a career in programming, I'm not too sure. It really doesn't interest me, so I'm a firm believer in, career should be something that you're really interested in and something that you want to do. So, it doesn't interest me. And then, how do you relate to the Linux Travolta? Um, I would say that I don't relate to him too much from listening to him and everything about kind of what he does. He seems to be kind of out there on his own, writing his program and contributing, working with people when he has to, and only out of necessity. I'm kind of the opposite. Um, I'm definitely like a team person, team player, and I like to work with people. I much prefer that than kind of working on my own. So that's that question. And the last question is, what do you think about the comparison of Tesla versus Edison? Um, I think that I really didn't know much about the two, but from what I was hearing on the TED Talk, Edison was kind of portrayed to be kind of a not really a bad person, but he had his own interests, and Tesla was kind of out there. He was more of a dreamer. I think I would probably compare myself more to Edison than Tesla because I think I'm um, not really too much of a dreamer. I'm really a kind of visual person, and that's kind of what I seen Edison to be. So that's my post. Hope you guys like it. Thanks.